Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rams Talk here. We're combining this show with the Sports Talk YouTube channel. We want to thank everybody to join in here on Spotify and YouTube and Podbean. Thank you very much. Happy Sunday, everybody. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Unfortunately, I will be by myself this evening doing with the show. So there will not be any audio visual images. So I do apologize for that. So we'll try to get that better by the next episode. So please bear with us. But again, welcome to Rams Talk here on Sports Talk and on YouTube. I am of course E for Edward, and we got a lot to talk about these last few days of training camp. After 2 days off, the Rams came back on Saturday, and we're going to recap day 8 as well. So let's get to it. But we got some developing story that broke out at the end of the week. So this broke out on Friday. Dallas Cowboys linebacker Micah Parsons has requested a trade from the Cowboys. He's citing contract negotiations being at a standstill. And as of today, there has been no further contact made prior to this story breaking. So as of today, there is no negotiations scheduled for a contract. Parsons broke down his statement to key points, quote, "Unfortunately, I no longer want to be here. I no longer want to be held to closed-door negotiations without my agent present. My trade request has been submitted to Stephen Jones personally, who is with the Cowboys. So far, the Cowboys and Jerry Jones have not commented, but prior to this airing, they haven't commented. We do know that Jerry Jones spoke out yesterday. He says that this is all negotiations, and they hope that they can get a deal done soon. So we'll have to wait to see on this. But can you imagine, though, if Michael Parsons does join the Rams, he's going to be joining a stellar young defense with Kobe Young or Bryce Young, Jared Verse, Weatherspoon. There's a lot of young potentials in this defense, and you add someone like Parsons, he can really make a difference on defense. So we're really hoping that the Rams will make a push to get Parsons to LA. Now, they do have a scrimmage practice scheduled this week, so hopefully maybe there could be some negotiations between the two teams about a trade. From what it looks like, Jerry Jones doesn't want to trade. We'll just have to wait to see how that goes. But again, this is developing since Friday. There hasn't been nothing new reported except that both sides are not meeting, and we'll go from there. And again, we'll let you know what happens there. Moving on here on the show, we do have some news about the Rams. 3 players made the NFL's top 100 list for 2025. Linebacker Jared Verse has been ranked 53 in that list for this season. In his rookie year, he had 15 quarterback hits, 56 hurries, and 4 caused turnovers on defense. And this guy was definitely the defensive rookie of the year. And by the way he played, he's honored. But I just think that he should have been ranked higher among the rookies. I'm looking at maybe a top 40, maybe top 30 in this list. Another Ram that made the list is quarterback Matthew Stafford, was ranked 59th on this year's top 100 of 2025. That's kind of low from last season. Last season, he came in 42nd on that top 100 list by the NFL players, basically voting on this. He had a stellar year last year, 3,762 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. So that's a good ratio there, and a 93.7 rating. But let me ask you the question, fans. Do you guys agree with this? Comment. Let us know what you think. We'll post your comments on air. Let us know what you think. Did they get it right by ranking Stafford 59th here this coming season? Also, the third round to make the top 100 for the second year in a row, running back Kyren Williams came out to be ranked 85th this season. It's actually lower than last year. Last year he ranked 78th on his top 100 list. So that's a very, very interesting thing there. But again, last year he had okay numbers, almost 1,300 yards rushing, 14 touchdowns, and he was tied for fifth in the NFL last season. Could wonder if how they'll use him this year. Again, this is a contract year for him. He expects to be there. He's been there. Shouldn't be any issues going forward for his training camp. So let's talk about really quick the key points from day 8 of training camp. So the defense continues to improve, and it's showing with some turnovers and pressures in practice. Defense, I think, will be a great factor to see how successful this team will go. We talk about the young players there. Jared Verse is entering his second year. He's being trained by Aaron Donald, so that's going to be a big must right there. Also, Puka Nacua, he's taking on Will Witherspoon for a touchdown. There was a play that he caught a touchdown over Witherspoon, and he beat him in practice last week. And also Tyler Higbee, who's been not out of action, but he's been trying to get his strength back coming out of that nasty injury. He continues to gain reception of his energy as he got a touchdown reception in practice just a couple of days ago. So very, very promising start here for the Rams, and especially with Tyler Higbee. Hopefully this team can stay healthy this season. But we're going to go to one of the key points here. One of the stories is the injury report. A lot of injuries have come out lately with the Rams. Safety Cam Curl, he is dated as week to week with an ankle injury he sustained in practice this week. Cornerback Emmanuel Forbes Jr., he's also week to week with hamstring issues. From what the Rams reported, he's going to be a cautious situation with this tissue injury that he has. So hopefully it's nothing serious. We do know that offensive line Alara Jackson, he continues to show progress dealing with blood cloth. Coach Sean McVay went out and said that the team will continue to monitor the situation regarding Jackson's medical issue. Continuing on the Rams injury report, tight end Terrence Ferguson has a minor growing strain. There's currently no timetable for his return. He did not practice on Saturday. Linebacker Nate Landman, he left practice Saturday with a calf injury. There are no further reports at this time to see how serious the injury is. And then quarterback Matthew Stafford, who did not practice much this week, he is not going to participate in Tuesday's joint practice with the Dallas Cowboys up in Oxnard. His status for next week is uncertain because they do have a practice combination with the LA Chargers. Keep in mind the Rams will play the Cowboys this coming Saturday in week 1 of the preseason, which you can check your local listings. And then also defensive end Kobe Turner, he was held out of practice on Saturday due to his back bothering him. The team trainers will continue to monitor his status for the upcoming week. Now let's talk about what happened yesterday in practice. Key moments from yesterday on Saturday. Linebacker Poole Paul Jr., who hasn't practiced this week, he made it on Saturday for the first time. He came out in pads and looks like he was raring to go. Troy Reeder, he got some practice reps because of the injury for Nate Landman. So Reed, who was actually injured himself, actually came back, and now he's gaining practice reps for Landman, who's hurt. And then we have Kyron Williams. He's practicing, but on Saturday he struggled with holding the ball, missing passes, and then he's just waiting on a new deal. So I don't know what's the status of that deal. It's tough to say what's going to happen because there's a lot of good potential in the running game with the Rams. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know for sure that he is going to continue to play hard. But again, fingers crossed that he has a decent year and maybe he'll be the number one running the number one running starter on the team, but again, we don't know. We'll see how that goes as well. Aaron Donald, the legend, he made an appearance at practice today, and he was greeted by the guy he's been training the last few days, Jared Verse. Report came out that these two guys were working together, and they just went at it. And I see a young Aaron Donald when it comes to Jared Verse. I mean, it's just amazing to see that, you have a great GOAT in defense like 99 to be trained by him. I mean, that's got to be just a great thing and come true, a great thing come true. And then the quarterbacks right now with Matthew Stafford out, Jimmy Garoppolo, Stetson Bennett, and others, they're getting reps in practice. Of course, we don't expect Stafford to play in the preseason. Garoppolo might come in for a snap or two, but that's still uncertain. Stetson Bennett, for sure, he'll have some playing time. They do have a fourth quarterback on roster. They just signed from the UFL. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens then and there for this upcoming week. And that concludes the recap for this coming week, part 2 of our 3-part series of training camp. Coming up in our next episode, hopefully we'll have a visual for you. We're going to recap what happened in practice on Sunday, and then we'll get you ready for week 1 of the preseason against the Dallas Cowboys. Also, we're still monitoring the situation with Micah Parsons. Again, nothing has been reported today. Everyone's responding, and we'll get your responses in the next episode. But hopefully we'll see if the Rams can make a move at him. But again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here on this quick edition of Rams Talk. This is a recap. Again, I apologize we're not able to have visual, but we'll try to get that going next time. But again, subscribe and follow, and we thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Have a great week, everyone.